I'm someone who fell in love with theater not by seeing Broadway, but rather by doing the school play. And I think great musicals have protagonists that are stuck somewhere and they want to be somewhere else. And that is every hip hop story. Every hip hop story we love is an MC writing about their world so specifically that they make us feel it and understand it, and then they transcend their world. Hamilton couldn't exist with anyone else writing it because it's everything I love about theater, about hip hop. When I'm reading the book, I'm never picturing the dudes on the money. I'm picturing who is the MC that I would cast in this part in Hamilton's life. So that's why when I started writing the songs for Hamilton, I actually started writing it as a mixtape with hip-hop lyrics that were as dense as my favorite MCs, infused with not just their musicianship, but their versatility, making this like hopefully boundary-busting hip-hop album that told a story.
I had always known Lin to be super creative and super eclectic. Like, I just loved that his taste of music just had such a wide breadth of varieties, of styles, of genres, and he encompasses all those things.
The fun of writing hip hop for theater is that flow determines character. Flow as a way of indicating intellect and train of thought is something I started playing with in the Heights, and then that became like the ultimate thing I got to write to in Hamilton.
He could sit down and like word for word, like spit out a big pun track and also like sing a song from Camelot and not miss a note.
With Hamilton, I'm doing my best big pun impression, and I'm not only rhyming 6 times on the line, I'm doing what pun does, which is the end of the line is the beginning of the next line. It's hard to analyze which guys despise. Be advised, Chico, we recognize with lies. It's all in the eyes, Chico. We read them and see them for what they are.
I'm past patiently waiting and passionately smashing every expectation, every action's an act of creation. I'm laughing in the face of casualties and sorrow. For the first time, I'm thinking past tomorrow. When
I was still in the Heights while I was writing those opening songs. So I remember talking to Oscar Eustis at the Public Theater to see if I wrote the songs, we could do a concert at the Delacorte, which is the outdoor theater where they do Shakespeare in the Park. And I thought that felt like a way of straddling the worlds I wanted to straddle. A hip hop concert, but it's where we do Shakespeare. But what happened was it just started becoming a theater piece. Even though I had visions of it as a mixtape, it was becoming a show as I was writing it.
The most memorable things from that first meeting out of Lin's mouth was not about partnering with a label to do a cast recording. It was, no, this is a hip hop mixtape. The hip hop mixtape is gonna be all the hip hop artists, you know, performing these songs. And it's gonna come out before the show comes out. The show is called the Hamilton Mixtape. We're gonna put out an actual mixtape.
Some demos were shared, but they were really rough demos. They gave you a bit of an idea. He was explaining how a lot of the characters were inspired by rappers that he was influenced by. And the idea was we put them on the mixtape and have them cover some of the songs.
We're still talking about doing a mixtape before the cast album comes out, but one of the things we realize is the only way to convince anyone is to have them see the show. I was really proud of In the Heights, but I could not get hip hop artists to come see In the Heights. It just was not on their radar because the worlds of hip hop and Broadway and off Broadway are like this. The Venn diagram barely touches, and I'm sitting here like this, trying to pull them together. So I was ambitious for this, to reach beyond the theater space. You know, I just really wanted my heroes to see it.
My manager called me and said, "You have to see this. I insist you see this tomorrow." And I was like, "Well, I got plans." He said, "You're going tomorrow."
Before I saw it, I was like, there's no way this is gonna be the way people are describing it, because everybody was talking about, you gotta see this thing, you gotta see it.
You know, going into the Hamilton experience, I was like a naysayer. I may have gone into it, you know, almost kicking and screaming. I really took some, required some winning over
I was just hearing about it too much. It was to the point where it was like some crackhead shit was going on. But the thing was, it was coming from the right people.
I remember that night, I just might regret that night for the rest of my days. I remember those soldier boys tripping over themselves to win our praise.
The first time I saw Hamilton, I was sitting there thinking like, okay, I've never seen anything like this before.
I was immediately impressed with, you know, just the lyrical dexterity and just the level of, you know, just interwovenness.
Just to take the ethos of hip hop and to develop this amazing story arc. It was overwhelming in the best possible way.
The writing just went to a whole new standard, a whole new level beyond what I could have imagined.
So this is what it feels like to match with someone at your level. What the hell is the catch? It's the feeling of freedom, of seeing the light. It's Ben Franklin with a key and a kite. You see it right. The conversation lasted 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. Everything we said in total agreement. It's agreement. It's a bit of a dance, a bit of a posture. It's a bit of a stance. It's a bit of a.
I thought it was incredible, like the best thing I ever seen.
The thing about hip hop is like, it just boils down to, is it good? Like, do we feel you? Is it authentic? And this checked all those boxes. It was authentic. It was great storytelling. It was great wordplay. Like, the bars are barring. You could tell that he cared about the lines and the words and the metaphors. There's no way somebody could create that and not have been a true fan of hip hop.
I remember particularly Daveed Diggs and watching him roll on stage with like 100,000 watts of swag and seeing him forward the story in a way that looked totally native to hip hop. That was one of the first times that for me, I think I understand this outlandishly ambitious vision.
The battling between the MCs and the skill set that went into the bars, which wasn't Broadway shit. It was real hip-hop shit.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We fought for these ideals, we shouldn't settle for less. These are wise words, enterprising men quote them. Don't act surprised, you guys, cause I wrote them.
The way he did it was with total freedom. And when you have that, I think that's when you can go anywhere. And that's what he did. He didn't, if he thought about rules, probably he wouldn't do what he did.
I was like, this is so good that I need to step my game up if I want to rap after I leave this play.
I was sitting there with my jaw to the floor in disbelief because as I'm looking at Hercules Mulligan for the first time, I'm seeing me in Hercules Mulligan.
Hercules Mulligan, I need no introduction. When you knock me down, I get the back up.
The moment I read the words Hercules Mulligan, I pictured his voice saying it. Hercules Mulligan. And so I was fully prepared to be like, if Busta Rhymes doesn't like it, close the show. Like, if he doesn't get it, like, we fucked up and we'll go home and we'll regroup.
We knew it was the greatest thing that ever happened in the whole wide world to us and to theater. We didn't know that other worlds of music would embrace it in that way.
Amazing. How long did it take you to write it? 6 years. That makes me feel a little bit
No, good. I'm glad.
I feel a little bit better.
I'm glad. No,
he sat down and wrote this shit.
it was very exciting. It was very exciting because it felt like what I wanted to happen, which was for hip hop and theater to be in conversation, was happening with this piece.
Even though we started at the very same time, Alexander Hamilton began to climb. How to account for his rise to the top? Man, the man is non-stop.
It happens maybe once every 20 years in the theater, where everyone who sees the show, for better or worse, goes and tells everyone they know about the show.
We were exponentially expanding our audience, and so that gave us a whole lot of excitement. It changed the force of the momentum. It went from being a speeding car to a speeding locomotive to a rocket ship.
Alexander Hamilton, Hamilton, just you wait. I am not throwing away my shot.
Lin had always had the concept of doing the Hamilton Mixtape. Once the show became, capital H, all bold Hamilton, now was the time that this was a viable idea. Let's go.
What we all knew at that time was that Lin was vibrating super high. And when you're vibrating, like when you're just at an energetic level, people are drawn to you.
When Lin hit me about being on the mixtape, I mean, anything to do with Hamilton, I was super with it. So I got the track, I wrote my way out. That's the type of song I want to be on, because that's my life, too.
What happened was I was still doing the show while we were getting busy on the mixtape. And what was so exciting was these artists I admired so much were taking the ball and running with it.
I picked up the pen like Hamilton, street analyst. Now I write words to try to channel them. No political power, just lyrical power.
For him to write to the hook, Wrote My Way Out, was just a dream come true. I was not planning to be on this mixtape, but then I heard that beat and was like, I have to get on that.
Running out of time like I'm Jonathan Lawson's rent check. My mind is where the wild things are. Maurice Sendak. In withdrawal, I want it all. Please give me that pen back.
You know, his verse was incredible. He was vulnerable, he was lyrical. He was a kid that was reading, and he winds up bleeding.
Y'all, I caught my first beating from the other kids when I was caught reading. Oh, you think you smart, but start bleeding.
A lot of people are intimidated by the dude who's focused, and he's more concerned with teaching himself, educating himself. And I like people who can tell you the human side about their experience, not just the tough exterior.
Hey yo, mug shot, gunshot, dope shot, jump shot. Take your pick, but you only get one shot. Advice from a school teacher to a young tot, applying a sticker to a Spider-Man lunchbox.
I got the call about being on this record, and obviously Black Thought is probably the most incredible MC to me that ever touched the mic since the inception of hip-hop.
That's why I hustle hella hard, never celebrate a holiday. That'll be the day I could've finally hit the lottery.
We all like wrote and rewrote and recorded and demoed and, you know, tried and reattempted those verses many times just to sort of to get it down.
See, I've been patiently waiting for this moment to rise up again. That's the way I was molded. And as the last one standing, as the rest of them folded. Give me my one chance to grab the torch and properly hold it.
I said I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot.
Lin-Manuel with this project told me the idea and I loved it and I started to write, and he sent me the beat and it was nice to collaborate like that way.
Con un pico, una pala y un rastrillo, te construimos un castillo. Como es que dice el coro, cabrón? Immigrants, we get the job done.
You know, the immigration song, it's forever because we're always gonna have a lot of immigrants now and in the future. It was important at that time and it's important today. That's why I wanted to be part of it.
Immigrants, we get the job done.
For someone who's come up in indie rap, usually you're writing about your own life. And so one of the biggest joys of participating in the mixtape has been to try to get into the mind of someone who lived generations ago, who has a different story. Like, that's a really different task than the usual indie song. So congratulations, for me, was probably one of the most kind of theatrical studio performances I'd given in a form that's otherwise very much a first-person true story.
Congratulations for the rest of your life. Every sacrifice you make is for my sister. Give her the best life. Congratulations.
What Hamilton and the Hamilton Mixtape sessions did for hip hop, did for music, did for pop culture was it raised the bar and set a precedent.
It opens hip hop up to a whole nother chapter in a way that's so revolutionary, so groundbreaking.
Hip hop and Broadway didn't have any meaningful sliver of overlap, and it really was Hamilton that had like a gravitational pull that was sufficient to drag those two universes together.
This is the growing up that hip hop needed, the penultimate flag planting on the moon for hip hop culture.
Nobody else is making Broadway shows going, you know what we gotta do? We gotta drop a mixtape. Like, you really have to be a child of hip hop to wanna do that. So what an accomplishment to be able to create something that could stand alone like that. It's in a class by itself, and what an important part of the legacy.
In my wildest dreams, I never would have thought hip hop and musical theater would become such good friends in the wake of the show. But because of Hamilton, there is now this conversation.
Lin is a part of us. He's a part of hip hop. He joined in the army, and because of the mixtape, we're all gonna be pieces of this positive change that Hamilton brought to the world.